y'all. I'm Kiara Sheree.
And I'm Ray.
And welcome to Yes, Black Girl.
Yes.
Yes. How are you feeling today, Rhea?
I'm good. Today's been a day. I've been taking care of
Mm.
cats. Um,
Oh.
it was a what's it called? A grooming day for them. So
Oh, I know they were cutting
yeah,
up, honey.
yes, they were.
My
Yeah.
cats do not like to be groomed.
And Flower bit me, but we good. I had to spray her. But everything else is cool. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's also been a super long day, but we here. We come into the end of the week, and I'm just happy that next week is Thanksgiving. I'm
Mhm.
ready for that. I'm ready to
Yes.
like see my family, eat some good food, eat some more mac and cheese. Me and Ray had mac and cheese
Oh my God,
the other
y'all.
day, and it was the bomb.
We had mac and cheese. We had crab cornbread. I had
Okay.
these greens. I had some cheese grits.
Mm, yeah, I'm definitely going back there soon.
It was so
It's
good.
such a good place to eat. All right, so let me go ahead and introduce our guest for today. So today's guest is Sheba Needham Thomas RDH. Sheba has been a dental hygienist for 12 years and she's worked for the dental field for 29 years. She graduated from Delaware State University with a BS in psychology and graduated from the University of Maryland Dental School. Sheba has worn many hats over the years, including mother, wife, a mentor, and just a light to her community, always showing up with a smile. So please give a warm, warm welcome to Sheba Needham Thomas.
Woo! Hey! Hello! Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Oh, thank you for the
It's
introduction.
no, listen. We gotta bring people in every single time. Y'all deserve.
Yes.
How are you
Thank
feeling
you.
today?
I am feeling good, but like I said earlier, I was a little worn down. I had 8 children I had to see this afternoon, and trust me, those kids wore me down.
I
I'm good.
understand.
I'm here. I'm
Child.
here. And
Listen,
guess what? It's Thursday and we close to Friday, so that's all that matters.
exactly. Can't wait to get to Friday. All
Yes,
right.
yes.
So we're going to start off with a little bit of this or that, and Rhea and I will alternate the questions, and you just tell us which one floats your boat a little bit more. So we're going to
Oh,
start it
okay,
off
okay. I like
with
this.
we'll start it off with electric toothbrush or manual toothbrush.
Ooh, you know what? I'm all for a manual toothbrush. I hate to say it, and I
Okay.
push electric toothbrush all day, every day. But
Hmm.
I feel more comfortable of brushing in circles myself. That's
Yes.
it. I like I said, I push electric toothbrush because it does it for you, but it's in my own hand and I can do circular motions myself, so I'm
Hmm.
good with a manual.
I feel that. I feel the same exact way. I feel like you can get all the places that you need to get.
Mhm.
I don't know,
Yes,
something about it. Hmm.
I know.
So the next one we have king crab legs or Maryland blue crabs.
Honey Merlin blue all day. All
I like
day.
the blue ones.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, it's
You
a
better
Merlin
know.
thing. I mean, I'm not going to disrespect the king crab legs. Everybody wants to do the crab boils. Y'all can have that. I need my
Mm-hmm.
Merlin crab from May to
Okay.
October.
Period. It's
Yes,
nothing like them.
period.
It's
I mean,
unmatched.
yes. Yes, it's unmatched. I mean, I
Yes.
every summer my friends from all over, from Delaware to New York, wants Maryland crab. So,
Mhm.
I gotta make sure I supply that for my friends because they know
Yes.
what's the best crab in the world. It comes from
Right.
Maryland. Yeah.
Exactly. Make sure
They
for
do.
the people in the back,
Yeah.
because people love
For
to
the
hate
people,
and act like we
yes.
ain't the ones. But once
We
they
are
have them,
definitely
they
the ones.
know. Okay.
Yes, yes. That was a good question, Ray. A good
Thanks.
question.
All right. The next one is Monica or Mary J. Blige.
Woo! Oh,
That's
y'all
hard.
playing with fire right now. But let me tell you something. Everybody who knows me know I'm a Mary J. Blige fan. Like
Mm.
I was Mary J. Blige in 1992 when I thought I was Mary J. Blige. So yes,
Okay.
I mean, listen, I love Monica, and a lot of people, I mean, this happens to me a lot, but like if I'm in stores or somewhere, airports, people think I'm Monica, which is
I
crazy.
can see it. I can see
But
it.
I've had people actually come and tap me on my shoulder and say, "Oh my God, I thought you was Monica." I'm like, no, honey, I wish. I wish. But I love me some Mary J. I'm actually
Mhm.
kind of mad that I'm not going to her concert in Baltimore this weekend.
Okay. Coming here too.
But
I was trying to
I
convince my
didn't know
mom
yeah,
to
she was
go.
coming.
Yep.
yeah,
But I would love to
Mhm.
see her in concert
yes,
because I know she's
she's
gonna give
really
a
good.
show. Hmm.
Yeah, she does give a show. You know, like I said, you gotta know Mary, her whole vibe and her singing, because everybody's like, oh, she sings like this, but look, you gotta be a fan. That's how I feel
Hmm.
about Mary, and I
It's a
love me some
feeling.
Mary.
Yes, it's the passion behind the music every time.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
So the next one is Crest or Colgate.
Oh, I am a Crest fan. I
Yes,
really,
that makes me feel
yes,
good.
no, I mean, both of them are good, but
Hmm.
you have to look at your toothpaste, and when you go in a store, pick up the box and you need to know what you want from your toothpaste. So it's
Mm.
tar control, sensitivity, bleeding, and they all have that on the box. So it's
Hmm.
like you have to pick, well, which one tastes better? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which one which one isn't so gritty? Because you can
Hmm.
get
Mhm.
toothpaste that's really gritty. So,
Yeah.
you just have to like pick, which I feel like press is smoother to me,
Hmm.
you
I
know.
Yeah,
agree.
it
But
is.
yeah, it's kind of smoother. My husband, he's a Colgate fan, so we got two different
Um,
toothpaste in my
that's all
household.
right. As long as you're on the right
Yes,
team, that's I'm feeling real good about
exactly.
my crush choice.
Right.
All right,
Okay.
last one is the 80s or the 90s.
Woo, honey, the 80s, because I'm an 80s baby,
Okay.
but I do love the 90s. I do love the 90s because I partied hard in the 90s. But but the 80s, I'm an 80s baby. But like I said, I partied in the 90s. I do love the 90s though. We had good music in
Hmm.
the 90s.
Yes, we
Mhm.
did.
I
Yes, we
mean, we
did.
had really good music in the 90s. So it's
Hmm.
all good. Either I can go for either or. It doesn't really
Okay.
matter, but
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with our questions. So
all
the
right.
first question is, how did you get started working in dentistry?
So I graduated from, as Kiara knows it, Chestertown Middle School, and and I was in eighth grade. So I
Hmm.
was graduating that day, and that day my mom made a dentist appointment for me. I'm like, Mom, I
Mm.
just graduated. Why would you send me to the dentist?
Right. You can't even
So
celebrate.
no, exactly. I wanted to go hang with my friends. So she's
Right.
like, this is the only day that I had off. So my mom was a single parent. So she had to do everything all in the days that she was off. So we
Mm.
went to the dentist, and my dentist, he had been my dentist ever since I was 4. So he was like, what are you doing this summer? And I said, I don't know, just hanging out, I guess. And he was like, well, would you want to
Hmm.
work for me? And I was
Oh,
like, work for you
sweet.
doing what?
Mm.
you know? So I'm like, so what do you want me to do? I'm thinking he's gonna say answer the telephones or whatever. And I'm like,
Hmm.
well, I mean, I don't really have any type of phone etiquette, so I don't know. So he's
Hmm.
like, no, I want you to be a dental assistant. So I'm like, a dental assistant? I'm like, don't I have to go to school for that? He's like, well, it would be like, it would be like your training. So
Okay.
I'm like, okay. So I'm like, you want a 12-year-old? Because at the time I was 12.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
because I
eighth
have a
grade.
late
Yeah.
birthday. Yeah, so I was 12 years old. So basically, it's like I'm really not supposed to be working in an office. So anyway, I said yes, and my mom was like, "Are you for real?" He was like, "Yeah, I really like Sheba. She's always been a pleasant young girl, a young lady growing up." And he was telling my mom how she dressed me so nice all the time, and I always
Mhm.
had a smile. So I was like,
Yes.
okay. So anyway, I started that Monday, and I was
Wow.
working.
Wow.
Yeah, I started working that Monday in the summertime from like 8 to 4. And I worked some Saturdays. Pretty much we worked every Saturday because he wanted to work every Saturday because we had a lot of patients that, couldn't, get off work to come to dental appointments. So Saturday was a
Mhm.
day for them. So I
Mhm.
pretty much worked 5 days a week. And let me tell you something, I thought I had all the money in the world, making five
Of
dollars and
course.
25 cents an hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a time. Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
$5.25 an hour. So just think that was like 1990, like 2 or 3 or something
Mm.
like that. But yeah, it was a long time ago. So that's how I got started. And I have been working for the same dentist ever since I was 12. And I
Wow.
will go ahead and tell my age. I'm 42.
Child,
So
like we could tell that you're 42.
yeah,
Out
42
here looking
so
where?
young.
yes, I just had a birthday. So yes,
Yes,
42,
happy
honey.
belated.
Thank you. Yes. But yes, that's how I got started at the office that I've been in, and I love it.
Hmm.
I really didn't even want to be do anything in dental. I really didn't know what I wanted to be. I really didn't have a goal in life.
Hmm.
I just went with the wind.
Went with the
I
flow.
was just
Yep.
one of them, yeah, went with the flow,
Hmm.
I was just happy go lucky, whatever, wasn't thinking about what I wanted to do in life. So then,
Hmm.
I got that job, and it just went from there.
That's awesome. I'm that like
job
that's such a I
security.
had no clue all these years how you got started. I remember being a kid and
Yeah.
coming to that dental office and you working
Right.
there and just always being there. I had no clue that you started way back then. Like that's
Yes.
incredible.
Right,
Wow.
right, right. Thank you.
He
Yes.
said, "I'm gonna keep a job."
Okay.
Oh, that's one thing about me. I'm gonna keep a job. Trust me. I'm gonna help as
Okay.
Yes.
many kind of way I
As you
can.
should.
Trust me. Yeah.
So you have a degree in psychology. When did you know that dental hygiene was what you wanted to do instead?
So, my senior year of high school at Kent County High, I basically did abbreviated schedule. So I only went to school in the morning, and then I left school and came to work in the afternoon. So I figured, I said, okay, I got to do, what do I want to do? Do I want to be a dentist, or do I want to be a dental hygienist? So I was like, I, I don't want to be a dentist because I got to see how hard it was, every day just dealing with people and running a
Hmm.
practice. It was a
Yeah.
lot. Like, I was like, I just want to work and go home.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So at first I did want to be the dentist. So I applied to Delaware State University, and I was like, what am I going to major in? Because I did not like
Hmm.
biology. I got a
Mm.
D in biology in high school. I was like, listen, this science is for the birds. I was like, yo, I'm not even
Listen.
learning nothing in here. So I hated sciences. So
Hmm.
I was like, what else can I do? So my boss was like, well, one of my friends, another uh dentist, she went to Washington College and she majored in psychology and went to dental school. And I was like, what? I
Mm.
said, I'm like, well, how, like, how did she get her sciences in there, like biology and microbiology? So
Right.
basically, psychology is a science. So
Hmm.
I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. So I ended up being a psych major and ended up loving psych. Like, I love psychology.
Mm.
So Delaware State was like, no, you need to be in like bio, and I'm like, I'm not doing
Uh-uh.
bio. Like, this is what I want to do. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
So I did take some science classes, biology at Del State, but I ended up getting a C in it. And that was fine
Mm.
with me, but I was like, I know I can't
Yeah,
have a
C's get
C in this.
degrees.
Honey, I tell everybody that C's get degrees, okay?
Yes, they do.
That's
They do.
that's my motto. That is my
Mm-hmm.
motto for every
Yes.
person in the world. C's get degrees. I don't know why y'all want to stress
Period.
yourself out to you're still gonna get
College
it,
will show you
okay?
real
You're gonna
quick. Okay.
real quick. So I ended up, graduating with the psych degree. So I was like, I don't even know if I want to be a dentist now. And I was like,
Mm.
I don't think I want to do this because I did 5 years at Delaware State because I ended up getting pregnant and having my daughter while I was in college. So
Mm.
that pushed me even more. I was like, yo, I need to make this paper. I gotta
Okay.
do what I need to do because I have a child, and at the time, her dad was my boyfriend at the time. So you don't know what's going to happen. And, so
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so I was like, I gotta chase this. So
Mm-hmm.
I graduated from Delaware State like May. It was one day in May. So that Saturday in May, I ended up taking classes that Monday at Delaware Tech to get the rest of my science classes that I needed to get into dental hygiene school.
Mm.
So because I didn't have all my science classes. So
Mm.
I ended up doing that, and I probably had to take probably like 4 science classes or maybe a couple more, and I got A's and B's in it. And I was like, oh my God, I
Wow.
really like these science classes now. And it's funny because I'm the type of person where let me see what this teacher is about because I need to know how
Mm-hmm.
hard they are. If the teacher is helpful or whatever, and who
Yes.
had this class, and do you have notes that I can borrow, and did you take a test? Do you have anything? So that's what
Yes.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up, passing all the science classes, and I basically put the psychology on hold because I'm like, this is what I really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm a dental hygienist, the psychology definitely plays a big role in my job because people will come and sit in my seat and they will tell me everything.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I feel like a counselor without a master's degree. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
yeah, because so it actually works hand in hand because I'm an ear for them to listen to and them to vent because I have people that tell me everything and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
are you really telling me all this? But they do.
Yeah.
So so it kind of worked out. So I feel like I still am using my psych degree at the
That's
end of the day.
awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
That's
interesting
good.
because our next question is actually related to that. So, because of your psychology background, have you noticed how dental health can impact someone's mental health?
Yeah, definitely. I see this every single day. Like my goal in life is to always be able to make someone smile. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have people of all races come to me, like everyone, like white, like everybody,
Mm-hmm.
Hispanics, Asians, they all come in, and every last one of us has some type of psychological, mental about their teeth,
Mm-hmm.
that they're worried about. So it's like,
Yeah.
one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I help you before you leave out of here because I'm going to point you in the right direction if we can get you what you need. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how
Yeah.
I feel, because people really, are self-conscious about their
Mm-hmm.
smile.
Yes.
Some people may have, I have people who have like your front teeth. Some people may have a gap.
Mm-hmm.
The correct term is called a diastema. But if you have that space in between your teeth, they're like, I don't like my gap. I'm like, what's wrong
Mm-hmm.
with it? I just don't
Right.
like the way it looks, So I understand that. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show you or tell you what you need to do to correct that.
Yeah.
Then you have people who have missing teeth, and they're
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm afraid of the dentist. Well, you know what? The first step is coming to the dentist to correct this.
Yeah.
That's the key
Yep.
thing. You have to come in. And one thing I always do is I always try to make my patients feel comfortable with me at all times, because a lot of people definitely have phobias and they're like afraid to come to the dentist, or they're just embarrassed.
Mm.
So I take the
Yeah.
time like to talk to them and be like, don't be embarrassed about coming in here. This is the first step. And at right now, like I tell people, we're wearing face masks. So listen, whatever
Yeah.
type
Nobody
of
see
work
that
you need to
smile
have
anyway.
done, yes. Look,
This the
whatever you
time.
need done, right. Because it's like we're in face masks. Get the work done. Get your teeth fixed. If you need them two front teeth pulled out, go get it done and put your face mask on until you get some new
Okay.
teeth.
Yes.
You know? So
That's great
it's just
advice.
one of those things. Yeah,
Hmm.
I have to really push people. Like, I'm a cheerleader. Well, I've always been a cheerleader through high school
Yeah.
and helping the cheerleaders. So I'm that person who's gonna motivate you and push you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cheer you
Yes.
on to make sure you get the work done that you need.
Mm.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
Love that. So, what are some of the diseases and issues that can arise with poor dental care?
Well, the main cause of not taking care of your teeth is called periodontal disease. So
Mm.
periodontal disease has to do with having poor gum tissue where your gums bleed. um
Mm.
Sometimes, yeah, that's a lot. Your gums bleed. People who have like teeth that are decayed, um that all is affects your health. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you have periodontal disease leads to your gums bleeding and your teeth being loose. So
Mm.
what happens is, if you don't brush your teeth twice a day, or floss, or use any type of oral hygiene aid to get in between your teeth, you can basically cause yourself to have perio disease. So what happens is, after you eat every day, this is the thing. This is why we tell everyone to brush twice a day. You wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth. So you then had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a snack in
Mm-hmm.
between. So what happens is, everything starts to build up from the food that you've eaten, and it sits on your teeth, and it's called biofilm. And it just
Mm.
sits and lays on your teeth, but it's plaque buildup.
Yeah.
So if you don't brush that at night and floss at night, that lays on your teeth, and your saliva, which has acid in it, it makes the plaque hard. It hardens the plaque on your teeth and causes
Um,
tartar. Yeah.
That's
So the
crazy.
tartar, yeah, so the tartar sits on your teeth and it sits in between your teeth. And over the years, if you don't, go to the dentist to have your checkup and cleanings every 6 months, it
Mm-hmm.
sits there and it breaks your bone down in between your gums. So it breaks the bone down and it makes your teeth loose.
Wow.
So, with that being said, that's why we tell people to make sure you brush twice a day, you floss, or you even use a water pick, and make sure
Mm-hmm.
you see your dentist twice a year.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
Interesting.
that's one of the diseases. Then you have, like I said, the decayed teeth. If you keep a tooth that's decayed in your mouth over time, like years or whatever, basically it can even be months. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
that tooth can abscess, and then you'll start to have swelling, and you may have like a pimple, like a little pimple.
Mm-hmm.
It may look like a pimple that sits on your gum by your tooth, and that
Wow.
is called a, yeah, that's called a fistula, which is the abscess. And if you like touch it and pop it, then pus will come out of it, and that's an infection.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So when that happens, you have to come to the dentist, and then we have to put you on an antibiotic, to get rid of the infection until you can get either the tooth, extracted, or if you need a root canal. But abscesses are pretty dangerous. An abscess can actually uh cause really it actually killed a kid. A child died from having an abscess
Wow.
in
Mm.
Baltimore a couple years ago. I know this was like
Mm.
probably during when I was in in hygiene school. It was a kid in Baltimore or DC, but he died because he had an abscess too.
Wow.
And that's why I definitely try to tell the parents you definitely have to take your kids to the dentist, because kids are more prone to getting abscesses due to them eating a lot of candy and junk food and drinking sodas. And then when
Yeah.
they get their new teeth and stuff, they're just eating all that junk and causing
Yeah.
cavities. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's another one. And with the perio disease, I want to say perio disease can also cause problems in your heart. Because, like I
Wow.
tell everyone, yeah, it can cause heart disease. So it's very important for people to definitely be seen, because
Mm-hmm.
if you have perio disease, um, your your mouth is a part of your body, and
Mm-hmm.
people really don't focus on their mouth being, a part of their health, but it is.
Yeah. That's where
So,
your food
you
comes
know,
in.
exactly all
Yeah.
of that. So basically, you definitely got to make sure you take care of your gum tissue, because, like I said, periodontal disease can definitely cause, some heart disease problems, and just like I tell people that have that's diabetic. We want to make sure they see a dentist every 6 months also. So
Okay.
yeah, so basically those are pretty much, some of the different, diseases that, can
Can
be,
arise.
yes, and that can
Mm-hmm.
cause some detrimental, it's just people don't know. And in our community, in the Black community, our people don't go to the dentist.
Right.
And only time they go to the dentist is if they have a toothache. So
Yeah.
this is why we really have to push it, because
Mm-hmm.
their parents only went to the dentist when they had a toothache. And it's it was common because people didn't have dental insurance back
Right.
then.
Yeah.
And yeah. So,
And they just waited.
waited till it
Mm-hmm.
got bad, and then they go to the dentist and get out, and then they might not come back. So a lot of our, elders are wearing dentures now because of that situation. And it's not a bad thing, it's just because they didn't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now we have to like really teach our people what they need to do and focus on that your oral cavity is a part of your health.
Right. Exactly. That was actually, you kind of already answered it, but we're
Yeah,
gonna ask
he
you.
did.
See,
Yeah.
yeah, I talk a lot, see, and I try to
I
cover
know.
everything. So, but that's all right. Keep it going. Keep asking any
Yes.
question you like.
Yes. We're gonna ask you, why is it so important to get examined regularly, and how often we should be going to the dentist. And you said every 6 months,
Yep, every
twice a
six
year.
months, twice a year. Most insurances do cover it for twice a year. If you do have like periodontal disease, most of the times we will have you come back, more often, maybe every 3 months. It all depends on what your oral, cavity looks like, and how you're taking care of the teeth. But sometimes, we have to have you come back more than once. And sometimes as a hygienist, in a regular general office, because that's what I work in, if we can't, pretty much get to the root of the problem with, perio, then sometimes we have to send our patients to a periodontist. So it's
Okay.
other, yeah, that's, and they deal strictly with the gum tissue and trying to
Mm-hmm.
save the teeth. So that's
I didn't
pretty
know they
much
had
what.
other specialists
Yeah, I
Oh
didn't
outside
know
of the
that
yeah,
dentist.
either.
Yeah.
it's a lot of specialists. You have your periodontist that just deals with your gums. Then you have your pediatric dentists that just deal with children. Then you have your oral surgeons. Then you have your
Mm.
endodontists that only deal with root canals. So it's out there,
Mm.
and then we got cosmetic dentistry that's just blowing up because everybody wants a
Listen.
veneer.
Yes.
Everybody's going to Colombia to get that new smile and all that type stuff. So
Exactly. Yes. If it's not a butt
yeah.
lift, you
So
get your teeth
yeah.
or
Oh
something.
yeah. It's
Hmm.
huge right now. So other than that,
Yeah.
so basically, yeah, every 6 months, twice a year. And like I said, if you can't make it, just at least make sure you get there once a year, at least.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know.
Right.
Hmm. That's interesting. So you were highlighted back in 2017 for being the first Black American to work in a private dental and medical office in your county. What are your thoughts on there being more diversity among dental and healthcare professionals in your area?
In my area, oh gosh, it's kind of tough. We come from a small town, and you have to get out of this town
Hmm.
to, to just be somebody or just to flourish.
Yeah.
But it's, it wasn't hard for me because I knew exactly what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
And I was actually blessed to have a white doctor ask me to come and work in his office because you don't really
Yeah.
see that, and it's kind of
Hmm.
still like that, in this
Yeah.
area. It's not a lot of black receptionists or black doctors here. It's
Yeah.
This town has more black nurses or seeing anything that has to
Definitely.
do with, yeah, anything that
Hmm.
has to do with the healthcare and medical. So
Yeah.
with me, being the first black, black hygienist, and basically, to be honest, I'm probably like the second or third black hygienist on the Eastern Shore of
Mm.
That's
Maryland. Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Like
Mm.
it's not a lot of us here on the shore, but over across that
Hmm.
bridge, over the Bay Bridge, there's a lot of, hygienists
Yeah.
that, African American and all over the world. So we are definitely on the rise. Right now,
That's
I'm,
good.
with a group, I follow a group called Brown Girl RDH, and it's a lot of
Hmm.
us black female and also male hygienists that's in this group, and
That's awesome.
we're here. So when we come in the room, we gotta make sure we're
Yes.
noticed. So we're being
Absolutely.
noticed right now. We are
That's
definitely
awesome.
being noticed, and it's a really, really good thing to say, and I love it because I
Hmm.
really did not see myself as like, wow, I'm like the first black person in a dental office in this town or in an office period. So
Yeah.
it really feels great. And I do try to see if I do have different girls come to the office to basically shadow me. And some people are
Hmm.
like, I don't know if I like this. You know, they're like, I'm not sure about
So
this. But
life's too
I
messy.
yeah. So it's I try and I have tried, and I'm gonna continue to push. But
Yeah.
some of them aren't really interested in it. But like I said, where we live at, you have to have the mind frame to say, this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm
Hmm.
gonna do. And
Right.
being here is kind of hard, but
Hmm.
I definitely try to push these young girls today to just get out
Yeah.
there and just do it. Don't sit
Right.
here in this little town because there's so much more. Like if I didn't have
Okay.
this job, I probably wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't even be in Kent
Hmm.
County. I would have
Yeah.
left because I
I
feel
feel
like
that.
I'm, yeah, like here, you left. So that was like the
Hmm.
best thing you could have ever done with yourself because there's so much more
Yeah.
to see. Yeah.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yep.
Kent County.
Little K
All
County.
right. Okay, baby can't. So do you think that access to dental care can be improved? And were there any recent changes in healthcare that are affecting dentistry?
Yeah, the access, it's easy. I mean,
Hmm.
there is a dental office in any town, in every town, I would say. So it's easy to get dental care. But like right now, I'm gonna say this now, it's kind of hard because of COVID, the whole
Hmm.
pandemic, like everybody's trying to catch up. So right now, like some people can't get into an office until like 3 months from now or 4 months, so
Yeah.
it's kind of hard, but it's really easy. You have internet, so you can Google a doctor.
Hmm. Yep.
There's always advertisements on TV, so
Yeah.
it's different ways of getting, you know, into a dental office. So I
Hmm.
feel like it's no excuse. It's just that you have to make yourself go to the dentist, you
Yeah.
know,
I
and
know
and
that's what
just
it
like
is
Yes.
for
there's,
me.
yeah, you just
I
have to
need to
make
go.
yourself go. Yeah,
Yes.
but
I just need to
I'm telling you,
call
in
my
the
insurance and be like, set me up.
Yes.
Yep.
Hmm.
Like there's like I said, in your town, there's probably like 5 or 6 dentists, like on every
Yep.
other block or something like that.
Hmm.
Seriously. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's there. You just have to push yourself to go and just
Exactly.
you make that appointment. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you're talking directly to me because I need to get this wisdom tooth
Me
taken
too.
out, and I don't
Hmm.
Yeah,
want to do it. I don't want to do it.
I
Hmm.
But it's
know. It's
impacted.
Yeah, listen, that impacting can definitely. I had impacted wisdom teeth, and what I do is I tell a lot of my teenagers to definitely go and get your wisdom teeth out before you turn 21. And this is the reason
Hmm.
why. Because when you're a teenager, you're still on your parents' insurance, or you have some type of insurance that you're covered under as a child. So I
Hmm.
always tell them to do that because once you become an adult, 21, and you have your own insurance, that copay is going to hit you and that deductible.
I
So
got
that's going to
that.
come out of yeah, that's going
Yeah.
to come out of your pocket. So other
Hmm.
than that, I mean, if the tooth really bothers you, I definitely, would suggest you get it out because wisdom tooth, that pain, a toothache is a look. I didn't have a toothache until last year. I was like, oh my God, this is worse than having a baby. This
Oh,
pain is
snap.
terrible. Yeah, I was hurt. I said, this is my
Cut the
first
tape.
toothache. Yeah,
Cause
like I was like,
Oh my
what?
god!
yeah, I was like, listen, I'd rather have another child that has toothache. So listen,
Wow.
go and get that tooth out. For a wisdom, since it's impacted, you probably could be put to sleep if you want, or you can get some
I am.
twilight, where you're not fully asleep, but you're relaxed. So I would definitely check into it, see how much insurance will cover, and how much you would have to pay out of pocket yourself.
Okay,
Mm.
thank you. Yeah, I'd rather be knocked out, but it doesn't really bother me, and if it does, it's very rarely.
Okay,
So that's
yeah,
why I
Mm.
kind of been putting it off, but I
right,
know like
yeah.
I
And
need
you're
to
not
get
the
it
only
done.
one. A lot of people do it. I had a kid today. He was like, "They're not bothering me." I'm like, "But it may bother you in the future, so I want you to get it
And
done."
cause some
And he's,
trauma. Yeah.
yeah, right. So but that's totally up to you. If you do feel the pain, there's always medication you can take to
Hmm.
relieve it.
Yep, I have
Okay.
my referral right over here somewhere, so
Go
I'm
on
gonna
and get
make
that
that
handled.
call. Yeah, I'm gonna make
Yes.
that call soon.
Right. Good. Good.
Yes. Where's the next one? Okay. When it comes to dental issues, is there a common one you see with Black people?
The issue is just not like just not coming to the dentist. That's the first
Hmm.
issue, I swear. That is like the biggest issue is that they will not come to the dentist until they have a toothache. I'm
Hmm.
like dealing with this more and more, and I'm just like,
Hmm.
we are in 2021. Go to the dentist. It's
Yeah.
okay. Like, and I feel like people are really embarrassed about their
Mm-hmm.
mouths, and I'm just like, it's okay. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna clown you. I'm not gonna talk about you. I'm here to help you.
Right.
So it all, people, our people just will not go to the dentist until something hurts, and I'm like,
Yeah. It's no good.
you got to get this taken care of. It could either be their gums because they haven't had cleanings. Like, I've seen people
Mm-hmm.
all the time that haven't had their teeth cleaned in like 10 years. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. That was
So,
me pre-pandemic. I literally went to the dentist and they were like, "How long has it been since you had a cleaning?" And I think I'm not even gonna lie, it was probably when I was still in high school. So I went
yeah,
all
that is
through
true.
college not going
Yep.
to the dentist. And I mean, of course, I'm still doing everything else regularly except for getting my exam. And so when they cleaned my teeth, I
Uh-huh.
was like, "So from now on, I'm gonna be coming in because this was way too
Right.
painful because y'all had too much
Yeah.
work to
Mhm.
do, and I don't want none
It
of that."
is, because let me tell you, dental procedures cost money.
Mm,
Nothing is cheap now. It's like, if you want an implant, like someone says, "Oh, I knocked my front tooth out. I don't want a partial. I would like an implant." An implant could be like $5,000 for one tooth. One. Okay.
whoa.
So I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, well, you can't afford, you might not be able to afford the implant. So do you want a partial? So that's, like what you take in and out, one tooth on a
Mhm.
partial. So that might be a
Okay.
little cheaper. That could run you between like $800 to $1,000. But that's one little tooth on a piece of plastic that goes in your mouth.
For your
So it's like,
Oh my
space.
yeah,
God. That
if
is
you
so
would have came,
crazy.
yeah, if you would have
Yes.
came to
What?
the dentist, yes, if you would have came to the dentist, you wouldn't have this problem.
I'm
Like,
Mm-mm.
appalled. I'm
yeah,
shocked.
like a root
Yeah.
canal is like over $1,000. So once you get a root canal, sometimes you have to get a crown over top of that tooth. That's another $1,000. So that's $2,000. So it's just like, it all depends. That's why
Wow.
people, you have to either come to the dentist or go ahead and pay $500 to get that tooth extracted. Because now teeth are costing between $300 to $500 just to get a tooth out.
Not them
So
raising the price on our teeth.
yeah,
Gotta pay
it's
for
yeah,
everything.
it's
It's
serious out
ghetto.
here today. It's really
Mm.
serious. So yes. So
Oh my
ladies, like I
gosh.
said,
Huh.
our people just need to come to the desk more often so they don't run into these types of problems, because everybody doesn't have insurance. So when you don't have insurance, that's when you're like, what? Like, I don't have this money to spend on that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I really want our people to go to the dentist more. Like a cleaning, it
Yes.
depends on where you go. To get you an exam and some x-rays, it could be like $170 to
Mm-hmm.
get your cleaning and your x-rays or whatever, depending on what office you go to. So
Yeah.
you just gotta shop around. That's what I tell people. Shop around to figure out what is in, what fees you're able to pay, you're comfortable to pay with, or if your insurance, helps you, then that's great. you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's great.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay. Come on, black people. We gotta go get our teeth
Yes.
examined now.
yeah,
Get
Stop
y'all
playing
teeth
around.
together,
Yes.
please.
I
yes,
got time to be out
yes.
here paying all that money.
I, I know, because you don't want
No.
it.
So, are there any common misconceptions that people have about your career?
Oh gosh, like, really, not really. Just some people just be like, how can you look at people's mouths all the time? They're like,
Mm,
they're like, that is disgusting. So, as you know, I had my niece working with me, Whitney. So
mm-hmm.
she would come in and she was assistant. So she would assist us. And she's like, I could never do this. And I'm like, yeah, you have to have the stomach for it.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually had assistants where we actually would do an extraction where we extract a tooth, take a tooth out, and
Mm-hmm.
some of them almost faint. So you really
Wow.
have to have a stomach to be able to handle this, because
Mm-hmm.
you will see a lot of some disgusting things in people's mouths. I've had different people have had hair in their mouth.
That always trips me
Like,
out because I've seen pictures of that and I'm just like, how does that even happen? How are you growing hair on
yeah,
your tongue? Like, what is
it's
this?
yeah. It's like different things. I've had people have like one time I had an ant in somebody's mouth. I was like, how did you get an ant in your mouth?
Uh-uh.
Um, I've had a lot in like I said, with an abscess, you can get like pus. Where one time I had a patient whose gums were so swollen, like I went to touch the gums and the pus just went everywhere. It was green. I was like, oh my God. So it is really something that,
No,
yeah, it's
See,
not
I would
it's
have fun with
green.
that.
yeah,
I love seeing stuff
yeah,
like
it
that.
was.
I'm weird. So I would be
Yeah,
like,
I
oh,
do too. I like it too because I was
yeah.
like, let me lift your lip up a little bit more and see if any more come out.
Okay. That's me.
Yeah, so yes, like you see all kinds of things in people's mouths. Like you just like, how can you look in people's mouths? Then I get girls that come in with the tattoo lips. I'm like, what in the world do you have tattoo on your lips? So it could be some
Yes.
type of derogatory
Mhm.
Brian in. I'm like, girl, so it's a lot. People are just like, can you deal with people's breath and
Mm.
people's mouths? So I get a couple of mouths that smell like outhouses. It happens. It happens, but I just take it. And then what actually is the worst mouth to smell? A person, I hate to say it, but if a person is an alcoholic. So all of
Mm.
that is just in their gums. So if I'm cleaning them, all of the
I
fumes
can
is
imagine.
just it, and that's
Yeah.
really hard for me because I can actually really smell it through my face mask, and I'm like, oh my God, and I'm just
Mm.
trying to hold it all in. But I
Yeah.
mean, I love it. I love it. I love seeing the blood, the pus, all of that. Sometimes when I'm cleaning
Hmm.
people's teeth with the tartar and stuff, I'm sitting there thinking like, "Dad, what I'm going to cook for dinner tonight? What I'm going to eat for lunch? Why?"
That's awesome though.
So
That means that you was
yeah,
meant for
so
that. Yes.
yeah, you have to be like, I sit there like, I hate to go on topic, like my gynecologist, she was like, how do you be in people's mouths? I'm like, girl,
How do you be in people's
Okay,
legs?
right? That's a whole different situation. And I know she's
yeah,
seeing some
it's like,
stuff.
yes, I'm like, you see more than me. So,
Yeah.
I'm like, she's like, yeah, she's like, I do. She's like, but I don't think I can do a mouth. And I'm like, yeah, and I don't think I can do your job. So,
Yes. It's an
so yes.
common understanding.
Yes.
Woo, a
Mhm.
serious situation. But yeah, but that's pretty much what most people just say. Like, how do you do that? That's so gross. That's so nasty. I'm like, okay, well, just make sure you come in the office and your mouth's not nasty. Okay.
Okay. Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, but yeah. Yep.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to pursue a dental career?
The advice that I definitely give all of, the kids coming up right now, or just anybody in general, women or men, because there are some male dental hygienists out there. I had one in school. Can you hear me, y'all?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay, because I
Yes.
don't know if my AirPods are. So anyway, I really tell people just to make sure make sure, first of all, go in shadow. Because like I said, you got to see if this is what you want to do and if your stomach can handle it. So
Mhm.
go into an office in shadow at a dental office. And if that's the case, you really don't have to go to a 4-year university to become a hygienist. You can go to a community college
Okay.
and do your 2 years and get your prerequisites and make sure you pass those classes with A's and B's, because that's the number one goal, is you have to have A's and B's in order to get into a hygiene class. Because if you have that one C, that kind of can hold you back and then they're going to get the next person or whatever.
Okay.
So you can definitely go to a community college and then apply to a dental school, in whatever state you're in, and just wait and see if you get picked. And if you don't, just keep doing, because let me tell you
Mhm.
something. I was denied twice from
Mm.
one school. Yeah, I wanted to go to Delaware Tech for hygiene, but you had to be a Delaware resident. And let me tell you something. I went through all the loops. I changed my license and my address in Delaware to my dad's, and I was picked as the first alternate. And so
Wow.
I had to wait to see if somebody dropped out, which they didn't. And then
Mm.
I did it again, and then I was the second alternate, and I was like, okay, this must not be
Mm.
meant for me. So
Yeah.
one of my best friends, she ended up becoming a nurse, and she went to the University of Maryland and got her nursing degree there. And I went to her graduation, which is Tamika Wheeler, Tamika Hall
Okay.
Wheeler. Yes, your
Hey,
other
Miss
mentor. Yes.
Tamika.
So I went to her graduation and I sat there and was like, you know what? I think I need to be at University of Maryland
Mm.
because, I've been trying to do this whole, out of state and it's not working. So let me just apply. And I applied and I got in. So it was like,
That's awesome.
I wasted time because I could have been into that school, but I was so focused on one school because it was close to home. But,
Yeah.
like God works in mysterious ways because even though I got into University of Maryland, I actually didn't have to go to Maryland every day for school. We had to they actually had um a clinic in Princess Anne, Maryland,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
they needed for students to go down there and help, with they have a high poverty rate down in Princess Anne. So the dental care down there. So they put four of us down there, and we did our schooling at a clinic down there. So basically, I didn't
That's
have to
actually
drive to
really cool.
Baltimore every day. Yeah, so it was good because actually the school, UMES, University of Maryland Eastern Shore, where my daughter goes to right now, the
Mhm.
students there, I would actually see students there. They would come and get free dental. So they were some of my patients.
Oh,
Yeah. So
that's
I felt like,
awesome. Come
yeah.
on, full
So I was
circle.
like, yeah, I know, full circle. So,
Yes.
it really actually worked out. So, like I said, you really don't have to go to a 4-year university, but it is good to do a 4-year university if you want a bachelor's of science in dental
Mm.
hygiene, and that's what I have also. But if you go to a community college, you'll get an associate's degree. So
Okay.
either or works, but the main goal is to make sure you maintain A's and B's in your science prereqs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, the next four questions, I might have Ray start them off because they're from her. I'll let her give you the background on the
Okay.
questions.
Okay.
So, my best friend, I don't know, it's like she does not have good luck with the dentist for some reason. But it's like always back and forth with her. But this last experience she had, I think she was there yesterday. I don't know if she had to get a root canal or something, but she said it was just very traumatic and the dentist was just not it. Um, so yeah,
That
she hasn't
happens.
like told me the full story, so I don't know like what actually happened. Um, but what are some of the best methods to advocate for yourself in the dentist office if you don't feel that you're being heard? And is there any specific verbiage that you can use to receive helpful information or to get your point across more effectively?
Basically, dealing with dentists, going into a dental office, and if you feel like the vibe isn't right, first off, as soon as you walk in, or you feel like, you're not being spoken to properly, or you feel like, if you just feel like it's off, then, just say, I just need an exam
Hmm.
and go from there and see how it all pans out because you can just get an exam and just say, okay, thank you, and then go to the next dentist.
Hmm.
That's it. You don't have to stay there if you don't feel comfortable. But most times people don't do that because they feel like, oh, I'm here. Let me just go ahead and deal with it. You don't
Mhm.
have to deal with
Hmm.
it. You can just get up and leave and say, thank you for letting me know what I need. And, I'll get back
Yeah.
to you and then go somewhere
Hmm.
else. So you definitely have to feel the vibe of what's going on. Sometimes it can be really a long day, or it can be we're rushed into stuff when we're working in dental. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
work that you have to do. The patient before that patient could have been hard, and the doctor is just like, he just had a hard patient. He's trying to get himself together, but you may feel like, he's not treating me right, or I feel like he doesn't care. He could have just had a bad experience with the last patient, and he's trying to get himself together, but still, you shouldn't feel like he should be treating you that way. Because I would
Mm-hmm.
never in my life, just because that one patient wasn't the way I wanted that patient to be, and here comes the next patient, I need to treat that patient the same.
Yeah.
You should treat all of your patients the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there are dentists who's like, oh, stop being a baby, or oh, it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
hurt. Or there are dentists who's like that. And if you don't feel comfortable, then after they're done that tooth, then if you feel like you don't want to go to them anymore, then move on. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
okay to shop around or to look for other dentists, because you want to go into a practice where you feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the key. You have to feel comfortable for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
She had found a practice, and it was all Black women. I think there were a couple men there. I'm not sure, but she said
Oh,
most
okay.
of them were not very kind to her. Like there's like one or two, but I don't remember where the office is. But yeah, I hope they
Yeah,
get it
who
together
knows?
because
Who knows? Who knows what could have been going on with that? Because, like I said,
Yeah.
people have different personalities, and you just, like I said, I don't want to go into no office where they try to rush me in and out, or
Mm-hmm.
make me feel uncomfortable. No, don't
mm-hmm.
make me
Same.
feel uncomfortable, because if you making me feel uncomfortable, I feel like you not going to do the job correctly, and
Exactly. And
that's
that's
the
what any
thing.
doctor.
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yep.
if her root canal wasn't great, root canals aren't fun anyway. That's one
Mm-hmm.
thing. But the doctor has to make you feel comfortable as
Mm-hmm.
possible to get you through that root canal. But
Yeah.
if she just didn't feel comfortable with it, then she can definitely go to another practice.
All right. Do you have any insurance companies or dental plans that you recommend for receiving financial help for dental services?
It's a lot of different insurances out there. Basically there's Care First,
Mm-hmm.
Blue Cross Blue Shield. That's all over the world. You can buy into that. There's different insurance. MetLife, that's a good dental insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Even for they pretty much put different advertisements out on TV, commercials for different dental plans you can buy into. You can
Mm-hmm.
look into it, but you have to pay a certain amount out of pocket, and that's what most insurances are if you're trying to buy your own insurance if you don't have it through your job. So you just have
Mm-hmm.
to look and see. But like MetLife, Care First, um, what else? There's Delta Dental. That's a good one. That's all. That's worldwide. Aetna, Cigna, just different ones. So just Google different dental plans,
Mm-hmm.
and for the ones who aren't able to afford dental, go to your nearest health department or social services to try to get state insurance and get Medicaid, because that's
Yes.
out there for everyone.
That's what I have, and it serves me very, very well. Listen.
Yes, yes, yes. And
Got
that's the
coverage for
type of office.
everything.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we deal with. We deal with Medicaid patients also. We're actually the only office in the town that takes Medicaid patients. So, it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people who have it and they need and we're going to see them. So it definitely covers just about, it doesn't cover every dental procedure. Like you can't get veneers or
Yeah.
implants or anything like that, but it covers your basic things like cleanings, extractions, and fillings. So
And to
that's
me, that's
what,
the most
yeah.
important.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It is important. It's very
Yep.
important. Very important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she had this really specific one. When it comes to referrals and getting X-rays, why do you need to get new X-rays after being referred to another practitioner instead of having
Mm.
the previous X-rays just
Woo!
transferred over? Like, is that a money thing? Is it like something in the system? Is it legit? Like, what is
I'm gonna just keep it
it?
100 with you all because I deal with this every day, every single day. Most dentists, they want their own x-rays. And yes, sometimes they will say they want their own x-rays and charge you for that x-ray.
Mm.
Sometimes your insurance will pay for it, but they don't have to. Just, just say, no, these are the x-rays that I have, and this is the x-rays that I'm going to get. And you can either
Mm-hmm.
call them and have them email them over to you because I've already had this x-ray. But most of
Yeah.
the times, it could be, sometimes it's mostly that they want their own x-ray, and yeah, they're going to charge you for it. Because your
Mm-hmm.
insurance may not pay for it, and your insurance may. It all depends.
Mm-hmm.
But, if you do have that, you know, x-ray, then take with you or have it emailed to the practice that you're going to. Because
That's
at the
smart.
end of the day, yeah, it may cost you some money to pay for another x-ray.
Hmm.
That actually happened to me literally right before, literally right at the top of like right before we started quarantine. I
Uh-huh.
went to the dentist and they were telling me that I had like a tooth sitting on like a nerve line or something like that, and I may need to get it extracted. And they had
Right.
already did one X-ray that was actually covered under my insurance, and they said they needed to do another one to be sure. And I'm like, okay, well, and I had to pay out of pocket. It was like
Be sure.
$200, and I'm just like, here goes
For
my
one
two hundred
x-ray?
dollars
For an
for one
X-ray?
X-ray.
My God.
And
Was
they
it a panoramic?
literally after, yes, and when I was done, they told me that I didn't even have to get the tooth extracted. So I
Oh,
basically
my.
got the X-ray for no reason. I was so mad. And
I
I was just
know.
like,
See?
seriously? And if I
Right.
had known better, I
Yeah.
would have just been like, well, do I for sure need to get this X-ray done? Because yeah. But I learned my lesson that day.
Right. It they
Mm-hmm.
they are doing it. Like every day I get a phone call saying we need the x-ray, or they said they needed a new x-ray. Do I really have to take a new x-ray? I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'll give you your x-ray, but they may still say I want my own
Yeah.
x-ray. So
Right.
it could go either way, and and it's happening, and it happens
Mm-hmm.
all the time. So you
Oh,
just have to, sometimes you just gotta be forceful with it and be like, no, I'm not paying for another x-ray. This is what it is. And but like you said, they were like, oh well, we seen something, and I'm not sure if we need to
yeah.
do this x-ray, but we should. And like I
Yeah.
said, most of the times people like, I hate to say it, it's like we're trying to sell you something. So
Mm-hmm.
of course you
Yep.
listen to the doctor and you're like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
okay, if the doctor says so. But
Right.
if you have that train of thought, like, I just had this
Mm-hmm.
x-ray last month or 2 months ago, you can use the
Yep.
same x-ray. But
Yes.
like I said, sometimes things change in teeth also. So they may tell you
Yeah.
that. Well, it may have changed later on or whatever.
Mhm.
So yeah, but it
Mm.
does happen sometimes, ladies. It definitely happens where they will tell you, "Oh, I need the X-ray," and they really didn't. So
Disrespectful. But I get it. I
yeah,
understand. It's a tricky situation.
right.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
is a tricky
Yeah.
situation. I'm not down in the dentist or anything, but it happens,
Mhm.
and I want people to know you can go ahead and say, "I have this X-ray," or if they
Yeah.
do really get into telling you why they have to take it, then it's
Mhm.
like, okay. It's like, what do I do? It's like a tug of war right there.
Okay,
Okay.
so the last question is, do you have any recommendations for a great dentist in the DMV area? And if not, is there a database that viewers can utilize to find one?
Gosh, it depends. In the DMV, I know. I'm trying to think here. I mean, I don't know a lot of different dentists in the areas. Like, I mean, I know the areas on the Eastern Shore, but
Mhm.
it's so many different dentists. I always tell people to like Google the
Mm-hmm.
dentist in your area, and or even let me tell you something. Go on Facebook. Facebook, everybody just goes on Facebook for everything. Which
Mm-hmm.
dentist do you recommend for such and
Mm.
such? And there is going to be tons of people from that town or from that area be like, oh, go to Dr. Such and such, go to Dr. This,
Mm-hmm.
go to Dr. That. So I
Yeah.
only have people that's in like the basically the Eastern Shore or in Delaware, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But like over in DC, I don't really know too many dentists because most of them are like the people that I may have went to school with. They're all spread out all over the United
Mm-hmm.
States. So it's kind of hard, but like you definitely have to do your research and like Googling these different dentists, or basically, like I said, get on Facebook and do a recommendation. Who do you recommend for such and such? Because Facebook will
Mm.
tell it.
Yes, they will. Everybody is always super excited to give
Yes,
their suggestions.
all the
Yeah.
aunties.
No,
Yes.
like seriously. I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
is because like it's a lot of knowledge that this person might have had this experience with that dentist. This person might have had
Right.
because they gonna tell it. They're gonna be like, oh well, I went to such and such and I didn't care for her, or
Yes.
I went to this and well I went to her too and she was this. So it's like So you're gonna get the information from people. Like
Mm-hmm.
definitely, I tell
Yeah.
everybody go on Facebook and put it in or just Google that person in your in your area
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And definitely try to support, our black doctors and dentists, because we're out
Yeah.
here now. We are out here, we're striving. I definitely follow a couple of dentists on Instagram. Go on Instagram and look up
Mm.
dentists in your area because there's a lot of different, dentists that you can find on social media. Because I follow
Yeah.
a few of them. So, like right now, the one in New York, Dr. Catrice, she did Cardi B's teeth. So,
Mm.
I follow her. She's in the
Lord.
cosmetic dentistry. So, it's just different people that you can find just on social media and
Yeah.
and get reviews from them and everything. And you can go on their
Mm-hmm.
page and see what their office is about, or but like I said, down here I can tell you who you can go to and who not to go to or whatever in this area.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
so
Mm-hmm.
so like I said, just Google these people, get on Instagram and look at their pages and get on Facebook and do a recommendation.
Mm-hmm. Another thing, I know for me, a lot of times, if I'm looking for a doctor, like a specialist or anything, I'll go on ZocDoc, and ZocDoc always has like, it has people in your network and people that are like out of your network. And you just put your insurance in, you say what it is that you're looking for, and
Oh
they'll let you know.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
Yep.
See, that's what I'm saying. All of that can
Yeah.
help you. With technology today, it's like, good Lord, if I had technology like we had back in the 90s, whoo, I'm
Right.
telling you. But I'm kind of glad I didn't have social media back then because it wouldn't have been me.
Me too.
Okay, it would have been a whole different era.
Woo, yeah.
Mm.
So, but yes, but basically, just go and find a dentist or an office that you definitely feel comfortable with. That is the key
Mm.
thing because you want to feel like it's like a part of your family when you go in there.
Mm.
It doesn't, and I'm gonna totally be honest with you, it doesn't matter what type of office it is, whether it's a white doctor, Indian doctor, whatever,
Mhm.
Hispanic doctor. You just want to be comfortable with the staff.
Yes. Yep.
You want to be
Mhm.
comfortable with the staff, and that's the key goal is being comfortable with
Yeah.
the staff, and they make you feel good when you walk in the office because I hear all the time, oh my gosh, you were so like gentle with me, you made me
Yeah.
feel so comfortable, and that's what I want to hear, and that's what I strive to do every
Yeah.
day in my profession. So
Right. That's
just make
incredible.
sure, yeah, just make sure you feel good about the place that you're in.
Mhm.
Hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I've had the same dentist since I was, I don't, born, I guess. I don't know. He's our
Yeah.
family dentist now. Dr. Ting, he's an Asian man in Oxon Hill, so that's a
Come on, Dr.
recommendation for the
Ting.
people in the DMV. Dr. David C. Ting. Yes,
That's what I'm
Mhm.
talking about. You
I
got
used to teach
see, you
him.
already know right there that he made you feel comfortable. That office, that's what you're comfortable with, right?
Yep, and it looks
Yeah.
the same exact way as it did when I was little.
Yeah.
Yes. look, look, it's funny because too, nothing has changed. My boss, he has all his
Mhm.
sports memorabilia in there, and it's still the
Yes.
same. Everybody's like, this man will not
A
take
time
any of this
capsule.
sports stuff then.
hmm
Yes, it is a
It
time
really
capsule,
is.
and people come in there, yeah, and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't even feel like I'm in a dental office. I feel like, I don't even feel like I'm in an office. I'm like, well, that's what
Yeah.
he wants you to feel like. But yeah, so
Yeah.
that's right, Dr. Thing, keep it going.
Yes. Thank you. So that is all that we have for today. That is a wrap. Thank you, Sheba, for joining us.
Okay.
Please let the
Yes.
people know where they can follow you.
Yes, I am on Facebook as Sheba Needham Thomas, and you can follow me on Instagram as Flossy Hygienist. And at this time, sometimes I'll post pictures on my page, but most of the times I do a lot of pictures on my IG story. You can go on my page and see some of the work that I have dealt with and the mouths that I have dealt with. And you can definitely see pictures of tartar buildup
Mm.
and also pictures of decay on children. So definitely
Ooh.
go
Wow.
check my
Okay.
page out. I do have other pictures of me, my husband, my daughter, and family, or whatever else. But
Hmm.
I definitely do put a lot of dental, slides in my IG story. So just follow me on the IG. I'm mostly on IG more than I'm on Facebook, but I kind of keep my Facebook page open because my patients like to inbox me instead of calling the office.
Mm.
So
Ooh.
that's like a big thing. So I keep my Facebook page, up because my patients will inbox me about an appointment or I got a toothache. Can I get in? I'm like, can you call the office tomorrow morning? I'm tired.
Right.
So, but if anyone out there has any questions about any dental, issues that they're having, or any questions about dental offices or dental work that you need done, anything, just DM me on Instagram at Flossy Hygienist. I seem to get to Instagram faster than I get to Facebook. So, anything you want to know or need to know, just ask. DM me.
Awesome. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next
Yes.
Monday. And until then, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Yes Black Girl,
Yes.
and follow us on Instagram at Yes Black Girl Series. And then follow me and Ray at
Yeah.
Unique Genre and at The Only Ray on IG as well. And that's it.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.